The Pacific Ocean. For nearly 2 years, Japanese pilots had ruled the skies. Their pride and symbol of superiority was the legendary Mitsubishi A6-0. It was light, agile, deadly. American pilots feared turning with it. One mistake in a dogfight, and you were finished. But then something new appeared over the Solomon Islands. A strange aircraft with bent wings, a massive propeller, and terrifying speed. The Americans called it the F4U Corsair. And suddenly, Japanese pilots were no longer hunting. They were being hunted. When the war began, the Mitsubishi A6-0 was unmatched. It outturned nearly everything in the sky. It climbed quickly. It had long range. American pilots flying the F4F Wildcat struggled to survive against it. The Zero was built around one idea: maneuverability. But that advantage came at a cost. No armor, no self-sealing fuel tanks, minimal pilot protection. If hits, it burned. And American pilots were learning. The F4U Corsair was unlike anything the Japanese had faced. Its inverted gull wings weren't for style. They allowed a massive propeller to harness the power of the Pratt & Whitney R2800 engine. Over 2,000 horsepower, the Corsair could exceed 400 miles per hour. It climbed fast. It dove even faster. And it carried 6.50 caliber Browning machine guns. When those guns opened fire, aircraft didn't limp away. They disintegrated. At first, Japanese pilots tried fighting the Corsair the way they fought everything else. Turn inside it. Force a dogfight. Outmaneuver it. But American pilots had studied their enemy. They avoided horizontal turning battles. Instead, they used speed. They climbed high, then dove like thunder. A single pass. A burst of fire. Then back into the sky before the Zero could react. The Japanese realized something terrifying. They couldn't catch it in a dive. And they couldn't escape it either. The Zero represented one philosophy of air combat: lightweight, elegant, precise. The Corsair represented another: power, protection, firepower. It had armor plating, self-sealing fuel tanks, durability. A Zero could shred a careless opponent, but a Corsair could absorb damage and keep fighting. The battlefield was evolving. Speed and altitude were becoming king. And in that new world, the Corsair dominated. The aircraft truly proved itself in the hands of the United States Marine Corps. Operating from rough island airstrips, Marine Corsair squadrons defended amphibious landings. They intercepted bombers. They cleared the skies before invasions. By 1944, the numbers told the story. Corsair squadrons achieved kill ratios approaching 11-1 against Japanese aircraft. The Zero was no longer feared. Now it was vulnerable. Japanese pilots began recognizing the Corsair by sound alone. The deep roar of its engine, the scream of air in a vertical dive. Some called it whistling death. When a Corsair appeared above you, it meant one thing: you were already at a disadvantage. You could try to turn, you could try to dive, but chances were, it was faster, and it was coming for you. By 1945, the air war had changed completely. Japan was losing experienced pilots faster than it could replace them. American factories were producing thousands of advanced aircraft. The F4U Corsair became one of the defining fighters of the Pacific War. The Zero had once dominated the sky. But dominance in war is temporary. Adaptation decides survival. And the Corsair had adapted to a new era of air combat. Air superiority is never permanent. It belongs to whoever learns faster. The Zero was brilliant in 1941, but by 1944, it faced an opponent it simply could not match. The F4U Corsair could outrun it, outclimb it, outgun it, and in doing so, it helped shift the balance of power in the Pacific skies.